When CERSI shut down, I know that people throughout our region says what they do, just open the doors and let patients go out. That is so far from the truth.
15 years ago, changes in the mental health care system set in motion the downsizing and eventual closing of CERSI Hospital in Mount Vernon last October.
AltaPoint Health Care Systems is one organization that serves that client base and others in need of behavioral health treatment. Tuerk Schlesinger is AltaPoint's CEO.
And in his 23 years in the industry, he's seen some major improvements. He recently sat down with our Eric Reynolds to talk about those successes and what CERSI's closing has meant to his clients.
Here's the interview.
I lived out in the 8 Mile area, and there were so many people that were just great people that just needed some help, and a little bit of help went a long way with the people that we were surrounded by.
Tuerk Schlesinger was just a teenager when he made observations on the effects of social problems on folks in his neighborhood. Today, as Chief Executive Officer of AltaPoint Health Systems, he leads an organization that helps thousands on the Gulf Coast in Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama. After finishing Auburn, Schlesinger worked in healthcare at a hospital. He really enjoyed what he was doing, but wanted to return to the Mobile area. Schlesinger returned to what he thought would be just a temporary stop at Baldwin County Mental Health.
The more I started getting involved in mental health and start realizing the differences that we were making in people's lives, absolutely fell in love with what the mental health system is and what it does for people. I felt like we could really make a difference.
In 1998, he joined Mobile Mental Health, AltaPoint's predecessor.
Healthcare changes were starting to come down the pike and create a better quality of life for all of those individuals in the late 90s, where medications changed dramatically. Fantastic new medicines for individuals with mental health problems to be able to come out and stay stable and to function as normal of a life as they can.
To come out means transitioning clients out of state hospitals like CERSI in Mount Vernon into community-based facilities. Like others in the behavioral health care industry, Schlesinger saw this coming and the successful benefits. Unfortunately, he says, the public was not as informed.
Some individuals who don't understand how the mental health system works, and it's probably because of the stigma that we don't really communicate with the public what really goes on, is that when CERSI shut down, I know that people throughout our region says what they do, just open the doors and let patients go out. That is so far from the truth on what really happened. What really happened was we went in and really gave clinical evaluations to every patient that was in there. They really could live in the community comfortably without providing any risk to anyone.
Schlesinger believes a large number of CERSI's patients were there only to help keep the doors open. AltaPoint's 2 hospitals and 41 facilities serve 15,000 people on the Gulf Coast. Programs are designed to help clients live a normal life.
We have physicians that round on our patients 1 or 2 times every day. And at CERSI Hospital, those physicians were so understaffed. They had physicians that were rounding on patients maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. Our treatment has been so much more targeted. Treatment team involvement from social workers, pharmacy systems that were far advanced with the most advanced formulary pharmaceuticals to treat these individuals, and then to try to get them to be released into the type of environment that would be most appropriate for them.
AltaPoint's treatment has developed some incredible client successes, but Schlesinger says there are still challenges.
Our biggest challenge is, how can we keep them compliant? The medicines work, but how do we make them be compliant with those medicines as to where they can live in the community and not create any risk to themselves or any kind of a risk to anyone else? I've got people that I'm seeing that have been in the state institutions for 30 years, applying for jobs and getting jobs and doing things that are really, really proactive for our economy, for their mental health, you're just really, really encouraged to continue doing what we do. It's very exciting, and I think we're doing exactly the right thing. We feel like that has been really a home run. I love this job. It's a job that you get to come in and look at the glass as half full, how much we're able to do for everybody every day. What we really like doing is assessing whether or not we're really making a difference in every area that mental health is lacking.
In Mobile, Eric Reynolds, Fox 10 News.
Schlesinger says applying business practices similar to the acute care hospital industry is another reason for AltaPoint's success. He believes a community-based program is the best treatment option for those in need of behavioral health care.
Now that mental health has become a part of the national discussion, Schlesinger is optimistic for the future of funding in the behavioral health care industry.